Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Saturday, February 15th. We've got this latest round of snow and a little bit of rain out there. It has been warm enough for a little bit of rain out there this morning and even a little bit of drizzle. That tapers off during the day. Now, we are looking at a bit of a convergence band upslope event that kind of maybe will be enhancing the snowfall once you get to around Driggs, the Teton Valley, and the benches, all the way down to around Pocatello, maybe to American Falls for the next few hours, at least for the morning hours anyway. It will be breezy this morning, especially the further west you go across the Magic Valley and down into the South Hills. Otherwise, more rain and snow is expected through early next week and actually pretty much well into the next week across central and eastern Idaho. Satellite shows we've got moisture moving through. The last little bit of it is what's producing the snow over the eastern areas this morning. We may have a couple of pockets of freezing drizzle or freezing rain, but nothing to really impact our weather. Mostly snow, a little bit of rain mixed in with that, or a brief change over to rain at times with that this morning. Before that moves out, already seeing moisture moving on shore. That's the next system. That'll be starting to move in here later on tonight, and this will take us through the end of the holiday weekend, at least that particular round of precipitation. Our weather risk outlook shows a little more impact with that potential convergence upslope band from Pocatello north for today. It'll be breezy across the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley and the South Hills. Otherwise, the snow the next few days, the bigger impacts will be over the eastern highlands and the southeast highlands with that period. And then warming up temperatures, especially through Tuesday, for some rain in the lower elevations, especially the lower valleys with that. But again, most of the impacts will be in the higher elevations east of I-15. So for today, you'll notice this is where we've got this batch of enhanced snowfall, and this will quickly shift off to the south and to the east. It does look like maybe we can pull some of this better snowfall and moisture back to right around American Falls for this morning. As we go through the morning, you'll notice that quickly shifts away and does shift a little more south and west towards American Falls, maybe Coldwater, but that's really, really pushing it. Otherwise, we get through the rest of the day and you don't see much else going on. Maybe a little bit of moisture with some stratus up around Island Park and across the Bear River Range. Already seeing this moisture moving in. Initially, this is probably going to be just some flurries moving in later on this afternoon, this evening, and really starting to pick up once it gets into the upslope areas along and east of I-15 and in the eastern and southeast highlands overnight. Not much going on there elsewhere except maybe up in the Sawtooth, up and around the Wood River Valley as well. Then this moves in tomorrow morning. We get one or two of these pushes coming through, and then as by the time we get to the afternoon hours, again, most of the moisture is going to be south and east of the Snake Plain and the higher elevations. So for that forecast, the rest of today's forecast, that snowfall we're expecting on the low end, maybe an inch. If we can get enough enhancement, 1 to 3 inches within that band, a little higher amounts in the mountains. Also across the Bear River Range, we could see 1 to 3, maybe 4 inches of snow throughout the morning hours there. Elsewhere, not much going on. There are those stronger winds to our west and across our western areas. Some of those gusts in the lower elevations, 30 to 40, much higher up on top of Pomerelle and some of the higher elevations down there. That's for this morning. The winds up to the north, that is the signal of the convergence band. Northwest winds coming out of the central mountains, meeting the west to southwest winds, again, basically right around Pocatello, American Falls, and on to the north and east from there. As we go in the afternoon, these winds do die down, and the strongest winds will be closer to noon down around Burley, Oakley, in that area, and some of those gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. Otherwise, some gusts 15 to 25, but most of the moisture is pretty much done this afternoon, except for a few pockets of maybe some light snow flurries or some light rainfall in a few spots. For today, those temperatures, a lot of areas, we're not going to be moving the needle much today on the thermometer. Some of these areas this morning, Saturday morning, we're setting already around 30 degrees, so not much of a rise in temperatures. And even where we get some temperatures a bit above 35 today, that's off to the west where it's windy and there will be no moisture, very low moisture to fall with that. And where we do have the moisture this morning with temperatures right around freezing, it is going to pretty much stay rain. Still just just a very, very low chance. Might get a little bit of drizzle mixed in there, or maybe a little bit of freezing rain, but that's not not anything like we were thinking about yesterday across our area. Going into tonight, we're starting to see some enhanced snowfall over the Sawtooth, the Frank Church, up into Limhi County, also up around Island Park to the north of Rexburg, Ashton Hill as well. Not much wind expected for the overnight hours across the entire region. Going into tomorrow, we do have the main push, at least initially tomorrow, pushing into the eastern and southeast highlands. Those wind gusts still not too strong. It's going to be interesting. It looks like at some point during the day tomorrow, especially earlier on the day when temperatures are just a bit colder, we might see another little enhanced area of snow from Blackfoot up through Ashton and Rexburg. And with temperatures near freezing or just above freezing, some of these amounts might be misleading, 2 to 4 inches. Some of that may just simply be melting as it's falling, or it's going to accumulate if it's a quick burst and then quickly melt. So we're going to have to watch that. That may not necessarily mean we're going to have a higher impact event during the morning hours tomorrow up from Blackfoot up towards Rexburg. Just something to watch, but that could be where we see a little more wet snow falling tomorrow morning. For tomorrow morning, that's where those temperatures are a little warmer, 25 to 30 degrees. We've got some good southerly winds coming up the Snake Plain to help keep temperatures warmer in those areas. And then tomorrow, much warmer across the board, some more low to mid 40s, especially from Pocatello westward into the Magic and Treasure Valleys, also south down towards the Utah border. Going into Sunday night, starting to thin the moisture out of the lower elevations. A little bit of snowfall continuing up around the Sawtooth, the Stanley Basin, Galena Summit, but you get over towards the Tetons, the Teton Valley, the Big Holes. Some areas could see it another 4 to 8 inches or so tomorrow night into early Monday morning, and then that continues for Monday during the day. Still a little bit of enhancement there, but not much else going on across the region in terms of precipitation, except maybe a little more enhanced snowfall in the central mountains. Temperatures on Monday, a very interesting morning because we've got quite a bit of wind, and that system coming through has got a little bit more warm air with it. So temperatures staying pretty close, if not above freezing in many areas along the 15, 84, 86 corridor back towards Twin Falls. In some of these areas, the thermometer's not going to move much either. We're going to see some temperatures near 40 once you get to Burley, Twin Falls, and Glens Ferry. Temperatures elsewhere just above freezing, except if you're going to be in the mountains where it'll be into the 20s. That's for Monday. Looking at Tuesday, temperatures will be backing off a little bit, but still some areas will be warm enough. We get some moisture during the day on Tuesday, at least looking for a rain-snow mix for those lower elevations. And trend into Wednesday is even cooler. A little bit of moisture still expected to fall on Wednesday. So we're not really ending things, but it does look like the bulk of the moisture is going to be at least through the first part of the upcoming week. So again, this round tapers off today. We've got a band basically from Driggs to Pocatello. It's one of those combination convergence band upslope events. May see that back a little bit closer to American Falls, at least on the western end of that. It's breezy this morning in some areas, but with the warmer temperatures, blowing snow will be there. Drifting snow, maybe not so much unless you're really high up where temperatures have remained cooler. But more rain and snow is headed our way through the early part of next week and actually well into next week. Have a great Saturday. Do stay safe out there, everyone.